The Galactic Goofmobile streaked through the nebula, its engines purring after the narrow escape from the Void Collective. The ship's hull shimmered with the reflected colors of swirling cosmic clouds, and the cockpit was alive with the soft hum of technology and the distant crackle of interstellar static. Leah sat at the helm, her eyes darting between the endless stars outside and the intricate holographic display hovering above the console. The Celestial Forge coordinates glowed in shifting blue and gold, a beacon in the digital void. Beside her, the penguin crystal, an artifact of unknown origin, softly pulsing with an inner light, cast gentle patterns across the control panel, as if it too was eager for the journey ahead. Every so often, the crystal would emit a faint chime, almost like a heartbeat, reminding Leah of the stakes and the mysteries that lay ahead. The Goofmobile's crew, still catching their breath from the harrowing chase, exchanged nervous glances, the adrenaline of their escape slowly giving way to the gravity of their next mission. Leah studied the Celestial Forge coordinates on the hologram, her brow furrowed in concentration. She knew that reaching the forge wouldn't be easy. The Void Collective was relentless, and their ships were likely already plotting intercept courses. Leah's mind raced through possible scenarios: ambushes, blockades, sabotage. She glanced at the softly glowing penguin crystal, drawing a measure of calm from its steady light. "We need backup if we're hitting that forge," she said, tapping her chin thoughtfully. Her voice carried a mix of determination and concern, echoing through the cockpit. The rest of the crew gathered around, their faces illuminated by the shifting light of the star map. Each of them understood the risks, but the promise of the Celestial Forge and the secrets it might unlock was too great to ignore. "The Void Collective's got numbers," Leah continued, her gaze lingering on the shadowy sectors of the map where enemy ships might be lurking. "Maybe our cryptid pals can help." The idea hung in the air, sparking a ripple of hope and uncertainty among the crew. The cryptids, enigmatic allies from the fringes of the galaxy, had come through for them before, their strange abilities and unconventional tactics often turning the tide in impossible situations. But contacting them was never straightforward. Leah's mind flashed back to their last encounter, a midnight rendezvous on a derelict moon. Cryptids emerging from the mist, their glowing eyes betraying nothing. Still, if anyone could help them outmaneuver the Void Collective, it was the Cryptids. The crew exchanged glances, silently weighing the risks and rewards. As the Goofmobile pressed deeper into the nebula, Leah reached for the encrypted comms, ready to send a signal into the unknown. The fate of their mission, and perhaps the galaxy, might depend on who answered. With the nebula swirling outside and danger closing in, the Goofmobile's crew braced themselves for what was to come. The next move would decide everything. Leah grinned, her eyes sparkling with anticipation as the hum of the ship's engines vibrated beneath her feet. The bridge was alive with the soft glow of control panels and the distant chatter of her crew, each member buzzing with the same nervous excitement that she felt. She glanced around, catching the eye of her co-pilot, who gave her a thumbs up, and she couldn't help but let out a small, exhilarated laugh. This was the moment they'd been waiting for, the next big adventure, the next leap into the unknown. "Nocturnus 7 it is, time to rally the gang!" Leah announced, her voice echoing through the intercom. Instantly, the crew snapped into action. In the control room, hands flew over holographic displays, and the team's camaraderie was palpable. Some exchanged high fives, others checked their gear, and a few just stood in awe, staring at the swirling nebulae outside the viewport. The mission to Nocturnus 7 was more than just another assignment. It was a chance to make history, to explore a world shrouded in mystery and legend. The crew's excitement was infectious, and Leah felt a surge of pride at leading such a fearless group. With a steady hand, Leah punched in the course coordinates. The Goofmobile, a ship as quirky as its name, lurched forward, engines roaring to life as it set its sights on the shadowy planet looming ahead. Nocturnus 7 hung in the void like a dark jewel, its surface obscured by thick clouds and swirling mists. As the ship accelerated, the stars seemed to blur past, and the planet grew larger in the viewport, its mysteries beckoning them closer. The crew gathered at the windows, watching as the unknown world filled their vision, each of them wondering what secrets it might hold. As they began their descent, the ship's lights automatically dimmed, casting the cockpit in an eerie, otherworldly glow. Strange patterns of light flickered across the consoles, reflecting the alien energy that seemed to pulse from the planet below. Outside, the fog thickened, swirling around the hull like ghostly tendrils. Leah felt a chill run down her spine, but she pressed on, guiding the Goofmobile through the dense atmosphere. The crew fell silent, each person lost in their own thoughts, the weight of the moment settling over them. They were entering Mothman's domain, a place spoken of in hushed tones and half-remembered legends. The landing ramp lowered with a hiss, and a wave of chilly mist poured into the bay, swirling around their boots and filling the air with a damp electric tension. The fog was so thick it seemed to muffle sound, and the crew instinctively huddled closer together, peering into the swirling greyness. Every breath felt heavy, charged with anticipation and a hint of fear. Leah took a deep breath, steadying herself, and motioned for the team to follow her into the unknown. The world outside was silent, save for the distant crackle of static and the soft, almost musical hum of alien wildlife hidden in the mist. Suddenly, from the depths of the fog, two glowing red eyes appeared, cutting through the mist like twin beacons. The crew froze as a shadowy figure emerged. Mothman, his massive wings unfurling with a low, resonant thrum. His eyes gleamed with an unearthly intelligence, and beside him stood the cosmic Jackalope, its antlers shimmering with stardust, and the mighty Thunderbird, its feathers crackling with blue-white static. The three legendary beings stood together, guardians of Nocturnus 7, their presence both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Leah felt her heart race, but she stood her ground, knowing that this encounter would change everything. The adventure had truly begun. Shadows stir. The Void Collective seeks the convergence. Y'all got carrots? Oh, and yeah, them Void folks are bad news. The storm weakens without balance. We found a map to the Celestial Forge, where the artifacts came from, but we need you all to fight with us. The air grew thick with anticipation. Every breath, heavy as the swirling mist, began to shift and pulse with an otherworldly energy. Suddenly, from the heart of the fog, a new presence emerged, a figure unlike any they had seen before. Towering above them, this being shimmered with an ethereal light, its skin flowing and gleaming like molten gold, casting reflections that danced across the ground. Each step it took seemed to ripple through the very fabric of reality, as if the world itself was bending to accommodate its arrival. The group stood frozen, caught between awe and fear, as the golden figure paused at the edge of the mist, its eyes glowing with a deep, ancient wisdom. In a voice that seemed to resonate from the core of the planet itself, the being spoke, its words vibrating through the air and into their bones. "I am Zorak." The name echoed, not just in the chamber, but in their minds, as if the very syllables carried a weight of history and sorrow. Zorak's voice was both melodic and metallic, reverberating through the vast high-tech hall, each word lingering in the air long after it was spoken. It was a voice that demanded attention, that spoke of countless ages and untold stories. "A celestial exile," he continued, his tone heavy with the burden of isolation. Zorak's presence radiated both power and loneliness, a being cast out from his own kind, forced to wander the alien wastelands beneath a sky swirling with nebulae. The pain of separation was etched into every line of his form, yet there was a quiet dignity in the way he stood, unbowed by the trials he had endured. "The Void Collective betrayed our kind, twisting our work for their own ends," Zorak declared, his voice trembling with a mixture of anger and regret. Images flickered in their minds, shadowy councils, whispered conspiracies, and the moment of betrayal when Zorak was cast out, left to wander alone. "But I have not given up hope. I can guide you if you are willing to trust me. Together we may yet undo the damage they have wrought." The group exchanged wary glances, skepticism etched on their faces. One of them, voice steady but eyes narrowed, spoke up. "Proof!" The word hung in the air, a challenge and a plea, demanding more than just stories and promises. Hudson, ever the pragmatist, stepped forward, his umbrella shielding him from the relentless alien rain. Determination set in his jaw, he moved to stand between Zorak and the rest of the group, ready to face whatever came next. The city's neon lights reflected in the puddles at his feet, casting a surreal glow over the tense standoff. Zorak extended his hand, golden energy crackling between his fingers. Hudson hesitated only a moment before gripping it tightly. As their hands met, a surge of power flowed between them, binding their fates together. "This binds us," Zorak intoned solemnly, his eyes meeting Hudson's with fierce intensity. "Your victory is mine, and mine yours. From this moment our destinies are intertwined, and together we will face whatever darkness lies ahead. Sweet, let's make it official. She pulled out a hollow projector, blasting a goofy contract with paw prints and antler stamps. The cryptids chuckled. Mothman signed with a shadow swipe, Jackalope with a carrot sketch, and Thunderbird with a lightning bolt. Zorak added a golden sigil. Alliance sealed.
Void Scouts incoming! Brace yourselves!
Hudson shouted urgently. 3 sleek ships swooped down, firing crackling energy nets across the void. Leah yelled, ducking for cover as alarms blared. The Forge awaits us, but the void will strike even harder. Prepare for battle, everyone. Next stop, Celestial Forge. Let's save the universe, one crazy fight at a time. The Goofmobile roared into the nebula, its crew and new allies ready for the chaos ahead.